Deep beyond the edges of the known world, far from busy cities and noisy roads, there was an ancient forest untouched by time. People called it the sleeping forest, not because it was silent, but because it dreamed. Every night, as darkness covered the earth and the stars awakened above the trees, the forest itself would begin to dream softly beneath the moonlight. The leaves whispered in strange rhythms. The rivers hummed gentle lullabies. And sometimes, if the night was quiet enough, the trees would speak. Most people were too afraid to enter the forest after sunset. Old stories warned travelers to stay away. They believed the dreams inside the forest could pull people deeper and deeper into the woods until they forgot the world they came from. But a young boy named Rayan never feared the forest. Since childhood, he had always felt strangely connected to it. Whenever life became too loud or heavy, he would sit near its edge and listen to the wind moving through the branches. The sound always calmed him. Like the forest somehow understood things no one else did. One evening, after a long and tiring day, Rayan wandered farther than usual. The sky above him slowly darkened into shades of deep blue and silver. Fireflies flickered softly between the trees. The air smelled of rain and pine. Without realizing it, Rayan crossed the old stone boundary marking the entrance to the sleeping forest. The moment he stepped inside, everything changed. The world behind him became distant, quiet, soft. The forest felt alive, not in a frightening way, but in a peaceful one. The trees swayed slowly even though there was no wind. Tiny glowing flowers opened beneath his feet as he walked. And somewhere far away, a deep gentle sound echoed through the woods. Like breathing. Rayan stopped. The forest was breathing. His heart should have raced. But instead, he felt calm. Almost welcomed. You finally came. The voice was low and soft, carried through the leaves above him. Rayan looked around quickly. Who said that? He whispered. The branches creaked gently overhead. We did. The trees. Rayan stared in silence. Moonlight filtered through the leaves, covering the forest floor in silver patterns. You can talk? He asked quietly. A soft ripple moved through the woods, almost like laughter. We speak every night, the forest replied. Most people have simply forgotten how to listen. Rayan slowly walked deeper between the ancient trees. The deeper he went, the stranger the forest became. The air glowed faintly blue. The rivers reflected stars that did not exist in the sky. And above him, the branches moved slowly like dreaming hands. What is this place? Rayan whispered. This is where forgotten dreams come to rest, the forest answered. Rayan frowned slightly. Forgotten dreams. The trees hummed softly. Every wish people abandoned. Every peaceful thought lost to worry. Every quiet hope left behind. The leaves shimmered. They come here. Rayan felt something stir inside him. For a long time, he too had carried dreams he no longer spoke about. Dreams buried beneath fear, pressure, and exhaustion. The forest seemed to understand without him saying anything. You are tired, it whispered gently. Rayan lowered his eyes. Yes. The branches above him swayed softly. Then rest a while. A path of glowing moss appeared beneath his feet. Rayan followed it deeper into the woods. Eventually, he reached a clearing unlike anything he had ever seen. At the center stood a massive silver tree stretching higher than the clouds themselves. Its branches glowed softly beneath the stars. And hanging from those branches were thousands of tiny lights. Dreams. Each light pulsed slowly like a heartbeat. Rayan stepped closer in awe. What are they? He asked quietly. The dreams people once carried, the forest replied. Some lights burned brightly, others flickered weakly, nearly fading away. Rayan reached toward one small golden light. The moment his fingers touched it, a memory filled the air around him. He saw a little girl painting beside a window, smiling peacefully as sunlight filled the room. Then the image faded. Another light showed an old man quietly learning music for the first time. Another showed someone simply sitting peacefully beneath the rain. Small dreams. Gentle dreams. Forgotten dreams. Rayan's chest tightened softly. So many people forget these things, he whispered. Yes, the forest replied sadly. The world becomes loud. People become afraid. They stop listening to their own hearts. Rayan stood silently beneath the glowing tree. For the first time in a very long while, his thoughts slowed down. The pressure he carried every day no longer felt so heavy here. The forest breathed calmly around him. You may leave your burdens here tonight, the trees whispered. Rayan closed his eyes slowly. At first, nothing happened. Then, tiny silver lights began rising gently from his chest. They floated upward like fireflies. Each one carried a worry, a fear, a painful thought. The glowing tree welcomed them quietly into its branches. Rayan breathed deeply, and for the first time in years, his mind became still, not empty, just peaceful. The forest hummed softly around him like a lullaby. The silver leaves shimmered overhead, and slowly, exhaustion pulled at his eyes. You should sleep now, the forest whispered gently. Rayan lay down beneath the great silver tree. The glowing roots beneath him felt warm and comforting. Above him, thousands of dream lights drifted softly in the branches. The air smelled of rain, moss, and cool night wind. Will I remember this place? Rayan asked sleepily. The forest became very quiet for a moment. Then softly, not with your mind. Rayan's eyes grew heavier. But your heart will remember. The silver branches swayed gently overhead. The glowing lights dimmed slowly like distant stars. And beneath the dreaming forest, wrapped in soft moonlight and peaceful silence, Rayan fell into the deepest sleep of his life. When morning came, he awoke near the edge of the woods. Sunlight filtered softly through the trees. The glowing flowers were gone. The silver tree had disappeared. Everything looked ordinary again, but something inside him had changed. The heaviness he once carried felt lighter now, softer, as though part of it had remained behind in the forest. Rayan smiled faintly and looked back toward the trees. The wind moved gently through the branches, and for just one moment, he thought he heard the forest whisper, "Return whenever your heart grows tired." Then the sound faded into the morning breeze. Far beyond the world's noise, the sleeping forest continued dreaming beneath the endless stars, waiting quietly for the next weary soul who needed rest.